Good morning. Hello. We are on day 27 of our 31 Days of Spirit. So let's see who is around this morning. I'm Jody Harvilla, and today we're going to talk a little bit about your morning routine. All right, so I'm just going to hang for a second. I also put a link up for my New Year's class for intentions with direction. I love setting intentions and I love to help people set intentions. So I thought, let's do a class, and we're doing something kind of fun this year that you can purchase your ticket and bring a friend. So when you purchase your ticket, make sure you look for the email where you can add in whoever you would like to bring with you. So you buy one ticket and two of you can come. All right, there we go. Say hello in the comments so I know that you are with me. I will clean my glasses that always seem to be dirty. As soon as I jump online, I can't see. Good morning. There we go. Now I got some girls coming on. Hello, ladies. Good morning. So our weather's supposed to break a little bit. We're supposed to get up into the 30s this week. So hopefully that'll be great skiing for New Year's. Hey, Miss Lori Lashman. Good to see you. I bet you've had a hell of a time with this weather with all of your cattle. Chasing them around in the freezing cold. Any shows coming up, Lori, that I'm forgetting? If there is, make sure you put a link up. I don't think you have any right now, though. Not that I remember. Lori Lashman runs all the expos that I go to. Oh, Christina, I'm so jealous. She said they're getting up into the 80s this week in South Texas. Much safer for you guys, though. We're kind of prepared for the cold. You guys are not. So it is much better that those southern states get their temps up. Spring shows. Okay, Lori. All right. So today I thought we would talk a little bit about your morning routine, and if you have one, and if you don't have one, maybe you need one. So I'm just curious, those of you that are on, how many of you actually have a morning routine of some kind that you follow just for you, just to get yourself in a good space for the day? So just preparation for you. How many of you actually have a little something that you do? Started my fire before I came on, so it was hot in here. So I really feel like a little morning routine, and it doesn't have to be a lot of people think it needs to be some big, huge thing. And I just don't think it needs to be, but I do think it needs to be something consistent that helps you feel centered, aligned, prepared, whatever that might be. So I brought a little list of things that you could do, but I was just curious how many of you actually have a little morning routine. And there's always a little delay, so go ahead and put it in the comments. Zaina says, my naughty spirit calendar. Yay. Quiet time, chai tea after coffee. My favorite. You need one? All right, we'll give you some ideas today. So one of the reasons I think that I learned for myself for a morning routine was I would jump out of bed and just be ready and just go. And when I did that, it was kind of like the day just ran me instead of me running my day. And I'm a pretty reactive type person. And so I would react to everything coming up for me that day instead of being in a state of response. And when I started to learn that when I actually did my morning routine, did my practice, because it is a practice, because sometimes you forget and then you got to go back and practice again. But when I did my morning practice, then my day would be, I felt so much more empowered in my day, and I felt more solid in my day, and I had better boundaries, and I spoke better, and I handled things better, and I wasn't so reactive. And living in that reactive state of mind all the time is just, it's just that, fight or flight energy all the time. And that's just terrible for your body. And it would be exhausting. It was an exhausting way to live. And so I started trying different things. And I do think people should try different things, because what works for somebody is not going to work for other people. Some people will do the exact same routine their whole life and they will be fine with that. Some people get bored. And so you got to shake it up sometimes. And so I feel like it's a great time of year to do that, because a lot of people, kind of renew their commitment and renew their dedication and renew for supporting themselves into the new year. So it's a good time to look at it. So I thought, let's look at it. So a few different things that might be in your toolbox. And that's what I always tell people: go to your toolbox and see what's in there and see which things actually light you up a little bit. And if you're doing things just to do them because you should do them, they may not have the reaction that you want. Do things that actually work for you and get your energy into a higher space. So for some people, it's quiet and it's prayer. For some people, it's more of a meditation. And you don't have to sit in meditation for an hour, you guys. You can do a 5-minute meditation. You can do a 15-minute meditation, which is kind of a nice sweet spot. You can do, you can start with just a couple minutes of meditation, but just something. So meditation is more for the connection. Okay. You want to get connected to the light, connected to the earth, and have that connection, because then the rest of your day, then the signs and symbols and answers and all that stuff can come in. But if you never get yourself plugged in or connected, it's harder to see everything, right? The stuff will still come, but you might not see it as clearly as if you got yourself aligned and connected in the morning. So meditation, it's a great thing to do. I really like meditation. It's kind of a have to for me. My brain is always busy. And so for me to learn how to quiet my head, it took a long time for me to learn how to do that. But it is one of my favorite things, is just to have silence. I just love it. And guided meditation is one of my go-tos. I love to listen to Abraham Hicks. I'll just go on YouTube, Abraham Hicks meditation. They have a money meditation. They have a well-being meditation. I start a lot of my newbies with that meditation because it's 15 minutes. It's guided. They tell you when to breathe. It's just easy. So meditation obviously is one of my top pieces. Sometimes it's just quiet. I have one client that her morning routine is she sits in her chair and she looks out the window and she watches the birds. That's her morning. And she has her coffee, and sometimes she's got 10 minutes to do it. Sometimes she's got an hour to do it. And so she's not necessarily doing anything actively. She's just allowing herself to be. So for her, it's more of an active meditation. Sometimes it's that coffee or tea. I'm a chai tea girl, so I really like hot chai tea in the morning, and I sit and I get really quiet and I have my tea, and then I usually meditate at that time. My pets come when I meditate, so Charlie and Ruby usually show up. Charlie for sure. Ruby sometimes will, just depending. But I really like that routine of making tea in the morning. There's just something that it's my time. It's what I do. It's the regular thing that I do. And so that's probably the thing I do most consistent, is making that cup of tea. The other things might shift a little bit, but that cup of tea is usually the same. Some people like to journal in the morning. They do gratitude journaling or setting intentions for the day, writing their goals down. I do recommend, we'll talk about this in the intention class on January 11th. Writing things down is really important because it takes it out of this space where it's just flying around your head, and it grounds it into our space. And so writing, journaling, any of that kind of stuff is actually great to do in the morning. A lot of people do gratitude. I actually spend some time calling in my guides and angels. One of the things that I was taught many years ago was to call in Archangel Michael. And if you are really sensitive to energy, I think that is a really simple routine that you can do in the morning. So I thought I'd take you guys through that. And then we'll talk about a couple other things that you guys can do. So I want you all just to, if you're driving, don't do this. But if you want to just sit quiet for a second and close your eyes. And I want to show you how simple this is. And it doesn't take any time at all. Okay, so you're just going to close your eyes. You're going to take a nice, big, deep breath. Then I want you to take your energy about 300 feet up, take it above your house, above the trees, take it even higher, up into the clouds, and plug yourself into that light. So I always call it heavenly light. And you can even see yourself plugging it in like an extension cord. And just let that light come on down through you. And you're going to let it go all through your body, and you're going to take it all the way down through the bottom of your feet into the ground, all the way to the middle of the earth. You're going to plug into that Mother Earth energy, that nice, cozy, nurturing energy, pulling that up through the bottom of your feet as well, and bringing that all the way up into your heart space. Okay, so first you're going to plug yourself in, heaven and earth, connect them in your heart space. Then you're going to invoke the energy of Archangel Michael. Now, for me, he shows up big and blue. For you, it might be different color. He might feel different to you. That's okay. So I invoke the energy of Archangel Michael to surround my whole energy body in that beautiful blue light. So to me, it looks like a big, huge bubble. Goes under my feet, all the way around me. The whole bubble is blue. And here's the trick that really helped me is now I want you to breathe that blue energy of Archangel Michael in. Nice big breath all the way down to your toes, and let that blue energy fill up all the way up through your full body. So you're encased in that blue energy, but you're also bringing it into your physical body. You're allowing it in. And then you're going to ask that he just helps you maintain your energy throughout the day to help keep your energy in and other people's energy out. Okay, and then you just bring yourself on back. So you're grounded, you're connected to the light, and you've called in Archangel Michael to help you maintain your energy. I think that is the most important thing for sensitive people, is to learn how to put some kind of energy and allow some kind of energy around you to help you feel like you're maintaining your energy. And you can say protection. You know, a lot of us teach that. I don't want you to feel like you're protecting yourself from something. I want you to feel like you're maintaining your energy. Okay. You want to witness the world, but you want to maintain your energy so you're not taking 72 people home with you every day. Does that make sense? Okay. So tell me if you did do that exercise with me, how it felt for you. The other key to that was key for me. So consistency for sure. If you do it every day, that's when you're going to see the results from it. Okay. So before I even get to go potty in the morning, because I have to go potty every day, I call in Archangel Michael. And what I noticed was when I would do it consistent, it was helping. I for sure felt like it was helping, but I would still feel a little drained at the end of the day. And I knew it was more an energetic thing, not necessarily physical or emotional. I just felt still energetically drained. And what we finally figured out after a couple of years of just talking about it and just seeing what worked and what didn't, I wasn't allowing the energy in. I was a good giver, but I kind of sucked at receiving. So I wasn't receiving that energy in a big enough way. And so for me, taking the breath of blue light in and sitting there for a few minutes, that's probably the most key for me. Yes, the bubble around me for sure, but actually breathing it in and allowing it to come in helped me learn how to receive better too, on all different levels. And so if you're someone that still gets kind of drained by the end of the day, ask yourself if you're actually receiving that energy, because that might be the key. That really was probably the biggest help for me, is learning how to breathe it in. You can call in Archangel Michael all day long. So if I am, like yesterday, I was doing a bunch of readings for the Word of the Year things. And so I was refreshing that throughout the day, because I do get tired sometimes when I do readings, just depending. And I was doing a bunch of them. And so I was just renewing that energy. A lot of times I'll renew it at lunch. I'll renew it, especially in the mid-afternoon, sometimes in the evening if I'm teaching a class. Like, there's not a limit to it. Okay. So Kimberly said she felt peaceful. Karen said, yep, love calling in my archangel, spirit guides, and other angels, doing it daily. Such a huge intention for starting my day. Yep, me too. I call in my team. I have a whole little thing. And if you don't know your team, this is a great way to learn who your team is. So I would say, okay, who's ever on my right, come on in. Who's ever on my left, come on in. If there's some people in front of me, come on in. Like angels in front of me, come on in. Like, that's how I started, because I didn't really know who my angelic team was. And not necessarily like my loved ones, but my angels and my guides and my guardians. And so now through the years, I've learned, and I'll do a thing on who your angels are. I've learned that I know Archangel Michael is always to my right. Gabriel, my guardian angel, is always to my left. I have Seraphina in the front. I have my Buddha guy in the front. I have Chief behind me. I have that God energy in front of me. I have these other two guys. I don't really know who they are, but they showed up last year, so, and then I have all my helpers. So over years, and it took me years to learn who all of these energies are, and to be able to discern them enough to be able to call them in by name. But that took me a while. And so I would just be like, okay, team, let's go for the day. And that for a long time was my practice. And then I learned about Archangel Michael, and I learned some of these other techniques. And for me, another thing that I kind of put into my morning routine, as I was starting to learn who my team was, I'd be like, you know what, just show me that you're with me today. Make it big, make it obnoxious, like I always say, but show me that you're with me today, so I can start to learn how you're speaking to me. That's when I started seeing the angel numbers, and I would see billboards, and I would see the license plates with messages on it, and memes on Facebook. And like, I get messages all day long because I ask for them. And I've taken a long time to learn how to bring them in. And so that's a practice. Okay. But that also felt safe to me. Like, safety was a big piece for me when I work with spirit. I always want people to feel safe. And so we want to bring in the energy that helps you feel safe. And sometimes if people are all by themselves, they feel very alone. They don't feel like they have any support. You always have your spirit team. And that was really helpful for me for a long time. Okay. Carla said, I felt like my body posture was straightened up and felt calmer and freshed up a bit. Beautiful. Awesome. That's great, Carla. Okay. So you can call in your angels. You can call in your loved ones. You can call in whoever, your animals. There's people that call in the wind and the fire and the water, and they call in the elementals. So you can call in anything that works best for you. And there's no right way or wrong way to do this. I think it's more about creating something that feels good for you, so that you feel aligned and your energy feels solid and you feel strong in your day and you feel like you're present. Like, a lot of people that are in the spiritual side, they're always kind of floating around. So ground yourself, like get yourself in with the earth energy first, because that grounds you. And then you're more clear for the day. Then things just work better. And I noticed that because I would do it for a while and then I would fall off, and then like shit wouldn't work for me. And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, oh, I'm not doing my morning routine. And then I'd start my morning routine again, and then I'd fall off again. Then I started again. So I do think it is a practice. And just like a yoga practice, they always talk about that. It's just a practice, because one day it's going to be better and the next day maybe not, and then you practice again another day. And so I think the morning routine is a great way to actually center yourself for the day. And it helped when my kids were little, because if I didn't do it, then the whole day was just a shit show. And so the other thing that I did was I also built in a practice for my kids. And we had a certain stop sign that we would always go to when I took them to school. And so at that stop sign every morning, I'd be like, okay, kids, wrap yourself in a rainbow and put your colors on. And every day that's what we did. And I taught them to wrap themselves in a rainbow of energy. And I'll still remind them, they're old now, but I still, every once in a while, if I see them kind of stressing out, I'm like, dude, put your colors on. Like, what are you doing? Put your colors on. And because that helped teach them to maintain their energy in school. And so helping your kids learn how to do that when they're little is really helpful. And Keaton was funny when he was little, because I'd say, put your colors on. And he'd be like, I did. And I'm like, no, you didn't. And then he'd be like, okay, now I did. And I could actually feel the difference. It was super funny. Like, he'd mess with me in the morning. And so it was kind of a fun game, but it was consistent, because every day we went to school, they put their colors on. Okay. So it was like planting a little seed to help them maintain their energy. Whether they do that now as old, 16 and 20-year-old, I don't know. But I do remind them every once in a while. Okay. You're very welcome, Miss Linda. I see triple numbers all the time. Yep, me too. I see my angels talking to me through numbers all the time. Okay, some other things that you can do. You can go for a walk. I have a million clients that just go for a morning walk because it helps ground them. It helps them get out in nature. It helps them feel more grounded. It clears their energy a little bit. They connect with the earth energy. So walking is always, always, always good. You can make your bed. I don't make my bed in the morning, but many people do. I make my bed before I go to bed at night. I know that's stupid, but I do. But you can make your bed. A lot of people feel very accomplished when they make their bed in the morning. Was never something at the camper. I make my bed every day because it's, everyone can see it. My bed is upstairs in my house. So I'm like, whatever. Cause I'm a get up and go. Like, it's time to go. It's time to get up. Let's go. So I don't make my bed, but at the camper, I make my bed. You can simply stretch your body. And a lot of people I have been picking up on that are being called to stretch more this year. And whenever I hear that, that tells me that they're moving into kind of a growth and expansion year, and their physical bodies want to be able to stretch and grow with them. And so if you're getting kind of some hits that you should start stretching, or maybe doing some yoga or doing some kind of like body conditioning, you should listen to that, because it's usually setting you up for whatever's coming down the road. And so whenever I get that thing where I'm like, oh, I really need to start stretching more and more every day, it's because I'm moving into something that I'm going to grow and expand into. Doesn't mean it's a red flag or something bad's coming. It usually just means that there's some good growth coming and our physical body wants to keep up with it. Okay. Music, of course. A lot of my clients will start their day dancing, which I think is so fun. Like, what a great way to start your day is dancing around their house. Picking an oracle card, of course, is always great. I think that's really fun. Yeah, I like this too. Karen said, I also like to thank them at the end of each day when I'm lying in bed before I go to sleep. Giving gratitude for the help, I believe, is important also. Of course, for sure, for sure. I think gratitude is always good for everything. So yeah, definitely at night. I have a morning routine and I have a nightly routine. Because I think it gives my day an opening and my day a closing. And that just always has felt better to me. It's like it felt complete. And I never realized that it didn't feel complete until I started trying some of this stuff just to see if it worked. And then all of a sudden it did work. So I like that. Some people do Qigong in the morning. Some people will do tapping. If you don't know what tapping is, you can look up on YouTube. Some people will do automatic writing and talking to their angels. I have several clients of my mentoring clients, and they actually will chat with their team in the morning, or even, journaling in the mid-afternoon sometimes works best for people. See what works for you. I don't do my writing in the morning. It doesn't work for me. I don't have enough patience with myself because I want to get on with my day. So I do my grounding and I call in my angels and all that, and then I'm off for the day. And then mid-afternoon is when I do my journaling. I did that because my lifestyle at the time with the kids, I would do it before I picked them up from school. And so that just worked better for me. And I didn't like doing it at night because then I'd start to think about everything and then I couldn't sleep. So mid-afternoon was kind of my writing time, and it still is. I always take a break around 3 o'clock or so, and that's my writing time. So I think it's just important to start to remind yourself that maybe if I would start my day taking care of me and my needs first, maybe my day would go better in the future. And a lot of times if people struggle with self-care, they sometimes struggle with a morning routine. And yes, you might have to get up earlier than your kids. I did for years. And at the time, I wasn't a morning person. I much rather like the silence of the nighttime. But I kind of learned to be a morning person. So I had to get up really early so I could have that time. And I'm kind of lucky because Eli goes to work earlier than me. And so once he leaves for work, then that's my time before the kids get up. And so that's how I worked it in my house. But I was up early because it still helped my day. I didn't love getting up early, but it helped my day. So just something to consider today is maybe it's time to look at a whole bunch of different tools and see which one might work for you to start your day so that you can be responsive to your day and not reactive. Okay. How's that feel for everybody? And I keep feeling like we should pull a card today. So I'm going to pull a card. I'm going to pull a card today. I think we'll do a naughty card just for fun. So when I'm going to pull a card in the morning, all I do is just ask, okay, Spirit, what do all these beautiful, beautiful people joining me today? What do we all need to know? What's our message for the day? Should have shuffled before. Okay. Oh, see, this is a grounding energy. Get your head out of the clouds and feet on the ground, my friends. And when you do your morning routine, that's what you're doing. You're pulling your energy into the body that you're supposed to be in. So you're pulling your energy in. You're still connected to the light, but you're actually in your body. And then you're grounded to the earth because we live here. So you want to get your energy out of the clouds in your body. So we're present. So fitting. Okay. Oh, that's funny. Lori says I was driving, so I couldn't comment, but I love the part of breathing in Archangel Michael energy. And the second we were done, a huge blue semi drove by me. Isn't that great? See, you can't make that stuff up, you guys. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. So that's what we have for today, is a little reminder for your morning routine. A little reminder, I also put the link up here in the comments that if you want to join us for my intention class, love going through intentions with people. It is one of my favorite things, is to get it to land with people. And we're doing a class on January 11th at 7 p.m. And we did kind of a fun little thing. It's only $22. We made it super affordable, and you can bring a friend. So it's basically $11 each. So if you want to split that, make sure you look in the email when you sign up. It'll say where to put your friend's name and email, so they get the link for the Zoom call and everything. So make sure that you get your butt signed up for that. And I will be back again tomorrow. I don't know what time yet. I think noon tomorrow. I believe it's noon tomorrow that I will be jumping on with you guys, and we will go through another fun little spiritual thing. Okay. All right, guys, have a great day. I am off to keep working on, if you signed up for Word of the Year, make sure you're checking your junk and your spam. A lot of times they go in there. I'm almost done with them. I think I have like 10 left. So I will have those done before New Year's, of course, but make sure that you check your emails if you sign up for those. Okay. All right, guys, talk to you tomorrow. See ya.